Shalom, shalom. Happy Sabbath to all my fellow followers of Yeshua out there. So every Sabbath, my son and I, we like to smoke a nice cigar and sit back with a glass of wine and do some Bible reading. And this week, last night, we were coming upon this verse here with the making of the tabernacle. Now, I've read this several times before, but notice it says, "And he made a covering for the tent of ram skin dyed red, and a covering of badger's skin above that." Now, that word badgers, it just stuck out to me because, badgers is an unclean animal. Badgers, right? They don't have a split hoof or chew the cud. And, if we go back to Leviticus chapter 11, let me see if I can get this real quick for you. And this is the relevant part here, where Jehovah's speaking to Moses and Aaron, and he's telling them what they can eat. These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are in the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the hare, you got these soft-footed animals, but the badger is an unclean animal. And so it just stood out to me, and it started bothering me, and I'm like, wait, what the heck? This is the King James Version. I like the King James Version, but it is a Masoretic text, the authorized King James Version. Now, it's nice because it has nice big print and you can read it. But when you come upon something like that, so I had to get out my interlinear and the Torah. But what was interesting about the Torah is whenever you go, I wrote down the verses that it has, where all of that's occurred. In fact, if you look at the Strongs here, look at all these places where it has badgers, right? Covering above the skin bones, a covering of badger skins above that, badger. And these are all the scriptures that have badger in them, even in the interlinear. But if you look it up in the interlinear, it says something else. But first, let me show you what it says in the Torah. So if we open it up, and we're going to go to that Exodus 26:14 there that I marked out. And if you go right in here to 26:14, it says, let it focus here for you. You shall make a covering for the tent of ram skins dyed red, and a covering of sea cow's hide above. Now, what's the problem with sea cows? Well, they're unclean too. They don't have any fins, and in order for you to eat it, has to have fins. That's why you don't eat, crab, shellfish, or any of that kind of thing, because it just does not have fins. So they are unlawful to eat. They are unclean. So then I'm like, well, I wonder what the interlinear says. So I'm like, okay, well, we definitely got to check out the interlinear. And so I put my Strongs aside. And this is the way these rabbit holes go, right? And so if I look up the verse 14 here, it says, "And you shall make a cover for the tent of ram skins dyed red, and a covering of dugong skins from above." And I'm like, what the heck is dugong? And so, of course, I had to look it up here. Dugong is a thick, smooth, and tough with a color that changes from pale cream at birth to a darker slate gray at age. And this is the dugong. It's like a manatee's, right? But the problem here is it doesn't have any fins. It's an unclean animal. One of them things it should be abomination to you. And so I'm like, man, what the heck is going on here? And so I looked at dugong, and unfortunately over here they have the Hebrew, right? So the dugong, you got to read it from right to left. But if you look at the Hebrew word, it's takach, right? It's because that starts out with the tov. So what is takash, right? What's takash? Well, I guess it's anybody's guess, because I looked up several different Bible translations. And everything like that. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And I just jotted down several of them for you. The Torah says sea cows. The NT says dugong skins, right? And it gave me that reference number, 8476. And we'll look that up in just a second because I got my lexicon sitting right over there. Now, if we go down through these, in the Hebrew, we already know it's takash. RSVC, it says goat skins. Now, goat skins, they're clean, right? Badgers, definitely unclean. Dolphin, unclean. Seal skins, seals are unclean. And then the Septuagint. This is why we're so thankful for the Septuagint. But let's go ahead and go to the lexicon here. Let me bring it over here. I marked out this place here. And if we take a peek into here, I kind of highlighted the stuff. I never highlight in my Bible, but I will in the lexicon and the Strongs. It's a kind of leather or skin, the animal yielding it. Dugong is what, the interlinear says. And then we have dolphin. We have these different things that it's prescribed to. And this leather was used for women's sandals. Elsewhere, for covering of tabernacle. Now, let's just put this to rest, shall we? Because if we can't accept that God is telling them to use an unclean animal. So, I don't know if you guys know much about the Septuagint, okay? But the Septuagint, this should be your go-to. This should be your go-to to resolve a lot of these issues. And that's why I just had to go to the Septuagint, because this is the one that I love to reference the most because it's just more accurate. Even the ages at the beginning with Arphaxad, Selah, and Enosh, and all that. But if we go down here, let me try to find it for you here. Okay, so this sometimes it's a little bit more difficult because we have the the Roman numerals and the print is real small, but I can make it nice and big on the phone here for you. So if we go down to verse 14, now not all the time does the chapter and verse match from the Masoretic to the Septuagint. Okay, so sometimes you might have to really look for it. But if we look at this Exodus 26:14, it does match up, and it says, "And thou shalt make for a covering of the tabernacle ram skins dyed red and blue skins as coverings above." So that takash, I believe, is just ram skins in blue. That's what I'm going to go with, because the Septuagint has no unclean animals in here that they're using to decorate the tabernacle. This is a must-get for any serious Bible scholar, reader, or somebody that just likes to dive deep, because, the Lord isn't going to use these unclean animals. Whenever you look up takash, all right, in Google, they're prescribing this to like a unicorn, right? This one-horned animal. Okay, so let me read this to you. The word takash appears in the Hebrew Bible specifically in the contents of the Tabernacle, Mishkan, during the Israelites' journey through the wilderness. It refers to the type of animal skin used for the outer coverings of the tabernacle and wrapping its sacred vessels. While its exact identity is debated, it's often described as a large, colorful, one-horned creature, potentially mythical or an extinct animal. That has a picture of a unicorn. And then I thought, well, rhinoceros, but a rhinoceros is an unclean animal. A unicorn doesn't have a split hoof. It wouldn't be an unclean animal, unless it had a split hoof and chewed the cud, but I doubt it. I doubt that that's it. I believe it is the ram. A ram, of course, is a male sheep, and its skin is tougher. And we had a clue in the dictionary there, Strong's Dictionary, where, and then also the lexicon, where they used to make sandals. Now, obviously, they're not going to be making too many sandals or coverings with, just imagine all the millions of people that had sandals. They'd be making them out of ram skin because they were tougher. But anyway, I just thought that I'd share that with you guys. My vote is for the ram. It's a clean animal. It has tough leather. And that's probably what they used for that. These other unclean animals, it just does not make sense. Anyway, what do you think? Give me your thoughts in the comments if you wish. If you're a nerd like me, like to dive deep. All right, talk to you later. Love you. Shalom, shalom.